If we type into YouTube how to bench, how to squat, or even how to use pin loading machines, we don't have to look far to see some big burly guy using a weight belt. Now for the average gym guy, there are a few issues for this, and we're going to be talking about them today. So let's talk about when we should actually use a weight belt. Now besides the obvious, we're lifting ridiculous amounts of weights, there are a couple of other reasons why we should use a weight belt. Two main ones is injury and a medical condition. Now yes, injury and medical conditions are two different things. An injury, meaning that we can recover from it, and we're doing something that's called Kaiser training. We're trying to do active recovery to strengthen up the muscles around it, an injured joint or mobility. Now, a medical condition is something like scoliosis, for example, or curvature of the spine, where it's a permanent injury and we can't necessarily work through it. So we use a weight belt to actually support our back to make sure that we don't damage anything further. Now, the trouble that we face in the gym, we see a lot of young people using a weight belt, and they use it on things like pin-loaded machines, like chest press, for example, and they're sitting there and they're repping chest press out and they're wearing this belt. The trouble with this is we're not supporting our lower lumbar, we're slacking off. Now, initially when we use a weight belt, yes, we can lift more weight, but that's because we're, cheating ourselves, making it easier to lift more weight. It's a bit like when we use knee braces when we don't need to, or sleeves on our elbows when we don't need to. Now, the trouble with this is over time, our body will catch up with it, and eventually you'll be behind the 8 ball. So by that it's meant that you will end up weakening these muscles, and they will only go so far until you just can't go any further. Then when you take the weight belt off, you're even weaker than when you originally started. So we're just going to be smart with our training, and we're going to ask ourselves, do I really need this weight belt? And if so, why? Why am I actually using this weight belt? A lot of people have said, I use it to be safer. Well, if you're really doing shoulder press with 5 kilos, 10 kilos on a bar, and you're using a weight belt to be safer, we've got more of an underlying issue at hand here. Your abdominals are just simply too weak, and you need to work on this. We shouldn't be using a weight belt to cheat ourselves unless you have an injury or unless there's a medical condition. And it is also safe to say that you shouldn't wear a weight belt on pin loading machines. There is a whole nother reason why bodybuilders use weight belts on pin loading machines. They are lifting ridiculous amounts of weight. Now we have to again ask ourselves, are we lifting that much weight? Are we really lifting heavy weights? If the answer is no, then we should really be working on our core stability first before we even consider putting a belt on. There is a time and a place for all gym equipment, and there is a time and a place when to use that gym equipment. When we're doing deadlifts and we're reaching to a certain point, yes, we should use a belt. When we're doing squats and we reach up to a certain weight on our squat, yes, we should use a belt. Our joints just simply can't support that much load. But if we're not benching, squatting, bent over rowing, or deadlifting ridiculous amounts of weight, then no, we shouldn't use a belt, and we should address the underlying reason as to why we're using it, why we feel the need to use it. So don't forget, guys, like and subscribe down the bottom there. Follow me on the Facebook fan page. Links will be in the description. At BodyRock Athlete, go to bodyrockathlete.com as well to check out some programs if you're ever keen on joining up. Thanks, guys.